What is going on, my friends? Back again, more hotel videos. I'm in the middle of my insurance conference, and I got to admit, today I got about a couple hours in, and I thought, oh man, I need something to keep me sane. There's a little potent insurance for the day. Oh my goodness. So I was sitting there, and I got this notification. I've got these guys right here, SWGoH events, SWGoH events, however you want to say that. And the guy who runs this site, I know him pretty well. Fantastic. You should definitely check out the site, and I'll show you a little bit more about it. But I got this notification that the next Scourge of the Old Republic, Darth Revan's event, is coming back on the 13th of June, which is going to be next week. And to me, that's like about, I think it was 80 days since the last Darth Revan event. And so under 3 months for that return, which is pretty big news. Now, how they get this event, these details, this is not announced by Capital Games, and so I do not have confirmation or even inside information at this point. This site is just very effective at going in and looking at the data mines that are currently in the game. And so right now, in the game, the event is set to go live on the 13th of June. That could change, very subject to change, but as I talked to Sig, who runs the site directly, he said, look, if the only way for this event not to start now on that day is if they actually go into the game and adjust the game files for it to not commence. And so that's pretty big news for a lot of you guys that did not get Darth Revan. I know probably the biggest caveat to that is going to be, yeah, I mean, Darth Revan's nice, Cubs, but I need Darth Malak. And so the question will be, we got Darth Revan. I think it was, 2-3 weeks after Darth Revan that we ended up getting Darth Malak. And so will Darth Malak follow suit? And my guess, if I'm going to guess here, I'm going to guess that the answer is no to that. This feels very, very quick to me for this event to come back. And the only thing I can come to for that is Darth Revan isn't the whole picture, and so maybe they're more comfortable bringing this event back, whereas they'll make people wait a little longer for Darth Malak. I hope that's not the case, because I know a lot of you guys are just really, really wanting to get your hands on Darth Malak so you can round out your Darth Revan teams. I think the bigger concern is going to be Darth Malak over Darth Revan, but for those who didn't get Darth Revan, still definitely a character a lot of you have been preparing for. I really hope you're ready. I think maybe that's another part of the concern here for a lot of people is, was I able to get my Darth Revan characters ready in time? 3 months, under 3 months is a really quick turnaround. And so if you go into their site, something I do want to point out is there's a lot of tools here that can help you. Some of you are aware of this, some of you aren't, but if you are concerned about whether or not you're going to be ready for Darth Revan and then also Darth Malak, there's a couple tools here. And so you can see here, they've got a little bit of event details in here about, Scourge of the Old Republic, unlocking at 7 stars. We know that. Here's the character requirements. And then he's got this link here to a panic farm calculator. We've seen this before, but I haven't talked about it on this channel. I think it's a great tool. I've used it myself. So you can go in here and say exactly where you're sitting right now. Okay, so maybe this felt a bit soon for you. You've got your Juhani. She's ready. You got your Bastila Fallen. She's ready. Canderous, though, you're like, oh gosh, I've been slacking on my Canderous. I've got 5 shards out of 100 for him. Or maybe we say you're at 5 stars. How about you're at 6 stars and you've got, or 6 of 7 here, so 5 stars out of 85. Say you're at, there we go. Say you're at 40 shards. There we go, 40 shards. And then you got Carthonasi. You're a bit behind on him. Maybe you got 5 shards there out of 100. And then HK47, you've had him forever. And then you can go here, down here, it says you have 15 days to farm the characters below. It already autofills the date that they have data mined for the start of this event. And so assuming that data ends up holding, and that's what the event ends up being, based on this criteria, you should not panic. But then if you have 5 stars Carthonasi, you should panic. And so it just basically gives you a breakdown of what the thresholds are and if you're in trouble or if the pace that you're going is going to be okay based on the days. And then it gives a little more specific breakdown here of how many shards per day you're going to need. So it says, okay, you got 140 shards needed. You need 9.67 shards per day. So make sure you get that 0.67, ladies and gentlemen. And then also it talks about how many energy refreshes per day, shipments per day, and crystals invested per day. And another note here on HK, he's available in the Squad Arena store. Most of you probably aren't going to have an issue with him. And it will even calculate for you how many crystals per day you need and what the estimated cost will be to you financially if you are in a super big panic and you're going to need to invest money into that. And something I would just say to take into account there is, it says here 695 crystals per day. Maybe you're bringing in that many crystals a day. Maybe you're taking first in Fleet and in Squad Arena, and so that financial contribution there might not apply to you. So very, very useful tool. If you guys weren't aware of this, go to SWGoH Again, that's my buddy SWG. This is not a solicited plug that he gave me to give to you guys. It's just because we're on this subject, I thought I would show that to you because I love sharing those helpful tools. Now, he has a similar site for Darth Malak. Check this out. If you're concerned about Darth Malak coming soon after this, again, I think it's probably going to be a bit longer until we see Darth Malak, but I could be wrong. I'm really surprised to see Darth Revan data mined this soon. Again, take it, I'll say it 5,000 times on this video. Take it with a grain of salt. It's data mined. It's not announced. It could change. But in here, you can look at all of your characters, and it will tell you based on their power if they're ready or not. And so you can go in here and say where you're at for each character. So say my Jolie Bindo, I've got him at 7 stars. He's level 85. This is how many gear pieces I think I can, let's see, gear level. I think I can get him to 12 by the time the event starts. I'll have 2 gear 12 gear pieces on him. And then where are his ability levels? Do you have a Zeta on him? Yeah, I've got 1 Zeta on him and the rest are maxed out. And you see, it already told me as soon as I put that Zeta on him, he's ready. And so you can kind of do a little bit of speculation. So right now, like say you've got, let's say you've got, how about your Juhani here, okay? So you need your Juhani to be ready. She's at 7 stars. She's at gear 11 is all. Or why don't we say, I did mine with gear 10. So let's say she's at gear 10. And let's see, what was this one again? Oh, gear pieces. So she's got all... We'll be realistic. 4 gear pieces on gear 10. And then let's say all of her abilities are maxed out except for her Zeta. And so right now, this is where you're sitting on her abilities. All right. And then you're just wondering, so you got this last ability here. It's at level 8. And, oh, you know what? I don't know if she has that many abilities. There we go. We'll say it's at 7. And so your question is, if I add that Zeta, so you get it to the power that you're at right now. I don't know if this is an accurate representation because I'm just totally filling these numbers here. So say you got it your power and you're just wondering, is it going to be enough if I add the Zeta on her to get her ready, bump her over that 17,500 threshold? You see here, that's what it is. And that's the exact scenario I was in. I had a Juhani who was only at gear 10, and I found out just putting the Zeta on her got her ready. And so instead of panic farming that gear, which would have been a lot more expensive, I just sucked up the Zeta, and that's what got me ready for Malak and was able to get me there for the event. So another useful tool to use, just so you guys can do a little bit of speculation and planning on exactly what you need to do to get all of your characters ready for the Darth Malak event too, which again, I don't think it's going to follow the same suit. I don't think it's going to be in that same timeline of less than 3 months. But if it is, better be safe than sorry. This tool can help you get there. All right, my friends, what are some of your thoughts about Darth Revan potentially coming back this soon? Again, I don't think we've seen a Journey character come back this soon. This is under 3 months. And so there's a part of me that wants to be very skeptical of the data mine. But that said, like my buddy SWG told me, if it's in the data mine, they're going to have to change it if we're going to not have that event. And so I think it could be accurate information, which is pretty crazy to me. So are you ready for your Darth Revan? Are you not? What do you think about Malak? Are you ready for Malak? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, my brothers, don't forget
my dead body. Sorry about the mess.